Hello everyone, welcome to Criccentric View after a long time. And finally, uh, the qualifications of playoffs have been done. There have been a lot of surprises in there, and it has been a really a thrilling tournament with less dead rubbers, which we always hope for. So, Sarvanan, what are your thoughts about the entire IPL league stage?
Unpredictable. uh, yeah, what we can say. The most sorted teams like CSK and MI were eliminated, which
Hmm.
no one expected at the beginning of the tournament. It's quite amusing to see the underdogs, I would say. Like
Hmm.
it's a miraculous comeback from RCB, winning uh, 7 out of 7. I think not 6 out of 6. It's quite a comeback.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really brilliant to watch and. It's been quite unpredictable. Yeah, that's what I would say in one word.
true. I mean, somehow, when we see the teams on the paper, right? uh, that's that won't cut it for any team to make it into playoffs. There are like a lot of things which goes in the background. For if you take a case of MI, or like uh, off-field drama because of Hardik Pandya and the way management were dealing with things, it was just not there. And the captaincy decisions of how to utilize the bowlers, it was they were not up to the mark, right? MI, with all these things, although they had, like last year, this year's team is way better than last year's team,
Yes,
right?
on
But
paper.
on paper, yeah, but uh, somehow it didn't work for MI this year, right?
Yeah, it's completely messed up. That's what I would say in brief. Actually, right
Mhm.
from the yeah, right before the tournament starts, I think the switch in captaincy itself made a, what do you say? It's really unfortunate to sack Rohit as a captain and bringing in Hardik from GT. I think from there itself, MA lost their way. But
True.
yeah, it could have been a different story. But still, the off-field
Mhm.
issues made a huge impact over the team, and I really see. I could really say this because this year's IPL for MI was completely a bad one. Even though we had seen some poor seasons from MI, but still this one is way too bad. Like there was no proper intent. I think the team was not playing together. So
Mhm.
it's we could really witness that right from the game one, and yeah, it's quite fitting that MI finished at the bottom of the table. So yeah, these things bound to happen when you don't have that um, one goal or one motto or playing as a
Right.
team was missing, then this could be the reason result.
True. And like one more thing, do you think MI MI has like a lot of leaders, right? Like you know, you have a leader in Hardik Pandya, you have a leader in Rohit Sharma, you have a leader in Bumrah. Even Surya Kumar Yadav is good enough to lead, right?
Yes.
When you have so many people, so many alphas in one team, and even in the management, Boucher has a strong-headed personality. Same goes with Pollard, right? Do you think because of too many, uh, too many alphas, the things go haywire, and that's what happened with MI?
So if you have taken Hardik out of the team, still you
Hmm.
have so many alphas like you have mentioned, right from Mark Boucher,
Hmm.
Jayawardene, Pollard, or even
Right,
Sachin for that matter. He is the biggest icon of the franchisee. And then
right,
you
yeah.
could see Rohit Sharma, Jasprit Bumrah is there. Uh, he was not in the last year's roster, but still, Jasprit Bumrah was there. He's the strongest influence, I think, in the bowling department. And
Hmm.
yeah, I could still see that the team was completely off when the decision of bringing in Hardik from GT and straight away making him as a captain. I think that somewhat brought an outbreak, and it was not even rectified within the team as well because we could see that there was almost like um, playing MI against MI itself in most of the
Right.
matches, and we could witness that for the most part of the tournament. And I don't see that, that there is no reason that too many alphas can work in as a team. It's just that one alpha should be an alpha of alphas. If
Right.
that's not the case, then you could see this result.
But still, you're right, like somehow the management, okay, fine, management made that decision and captaincy swapping didn't work well, right? But still, midway till the midway of the tournament, you are seeing Hardik Pandya isolated from the team, right? He's sitting with the coaches and all those things, because and that is not a good sight, like, and that's also not a good way to manage a team, right? uh,
Absolutely, that's the problem. Actually, MA was facing
mhm,
that. That's what I said. MA was playing first against themselves rather than the
right.
oppositions in the field.
True,
So
true.
I think that first battle was not won comfortably. That's why they were not able to get the results that were intended in the field also. Like you could never see that in Rohit Sharma's captaincy. I've never seen the an opposition was scoring more than 220s or 230s very often, or
Right.
even a team was just like completely out um, for some matches in a row. Like we had a very poor season in 2021. That was
Right.
a very poor season, I would say, but still, the intent was there. The team was coming on together very well. Even though I could still remember one game against KKR, we were well within the reach of defending the target, but one over of Daniel Sams and Pat Cummins make some huge hits, and we just lose that game.
Right.
Cummins will be scoring a 15 ball 50 runs. So yeah, even though those things happened, but still I could see the team was playing for that one proper goal. Like we should finish above, or we should be hoping for the playoff stage. But
Right.
I could see clearly this time the hunger was not there. Uh,
Right.
they were all played like some notice period employees. That's what I could say in colloquial term. But still, the team didn't come off together this time. That's a
Right.
major
Right.
issue. And Hardik Pandya as the skipper was failed to do that, keeping aside all those off-field issues I had aside, but still he failed miserably. Or I clearly don't know, the players are not looking Hardik Pandya as that leader uh, of the side. So either way, it didn't
True.
work well for us. So it's quite heartbreaking to see that this
Hmm.
team getting eliminated upfront. I never
Hmm.
seen in my wildest of dreams that this MI side will be getting eliminated as a first team in the tournament. I didn't even imagine that in my wildest of dreams. Yes.
I mean, that's actually true. Like, uh, if you had asked like which teams would be eliminated in the first go, MI would be the team which everyone would pick at last, right?
Yes.
But somehow things didn't go according to that. And also, what do you think would be the way forward for MI? Like, who would they retain, and how would players like Rohit Sharma and Bumrah, do you think they will still not Bumrah? Do you think Rohit Sharma still has some years left in the IPL or T20 format for that matter?
See, if you ask me personally, I would still pick Rohit Sharma as my first retention player. But um, maybe I think if Rohit and Co wins this year's T20 World Cup, then I think that
Mm.
the I think there is nothing much to achieve for Rohit Sharma. I would say, like if he
Right,
won this year's World Cup, T20 World Cup, then he will be having two T20 World Cups in his KT and five IPL cups in his career. So I think he might have achieved everything in the T20 career that a player could dream of. So
right,
maybe he could retire, but still, seeing the franchise's decisions the last year, I could really see if there is only three players or four players that they are going to retain, then I don't see Rohit Sharma getting retained in them. Since they have brought in
right.
Hardik Pandya as a skipper, it's very unlikely to let him go because they have made some huge
Mhm.
investments and they have seen very huge backlash
Right,
right from the fans, social media, everybody. Except I think the MI boardroom, everyone has completely outraged with the decision of bringing in Hardik Pandya. So with all these things, I don't think that they will let go Hardik Pandya very easily. And
and they shouldn't, for that matter. I mean,
yeah,
see, you had a certain thought process behind that investment, and yes, the results didn't go according to that. Just because you have a social media backlash and public backlash doesn't mean you have to change your decisions because of them,
Yeah,
right?
even if you ask me as a fan, I don't really see that letting go Hardik Pandya is a wise decision.
Hmm.
You have brought him in, you have brought him, so
Right,
it's
yeah.
wise to stick him with him. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, a year or two may go not according to your plan, but still, Hardik
Right.
Pandya still has some at least a 5 to 6 years of a peak career in his
Great.
peak. He could be in his peak form at least for 6 to 7 years as a pace bowling all rounder. That I think
Great.
he is the best one in the recent form that India have ever produced. So I could still see he is a very good leadership guy. Still, I would say that. Um, but with the future prospects, I would say Tilak Verma and Jasprit Bumrah. I think these three will be the most likely to get retained upfront. Uh,
Hmm.
if the IPL Governing Council makes some uh, what do you say, made some additional retention list, maybe they could retain Rohit Sharma as their icon. Since
And
he is a club legend, I
yeah,
think, and he is also not going to retire, then he might be get retained. If there is some
right.
6 to 7 players of retention, then he'll be one of the list. And I don't see any
Mhm.
foreign any overseas player that could be an outright uh, selection in the retention list. I
I
don't see
mean,
any player in MA now.
yeah, I mean, see, there are, like, for me, like, if you ask me, Ishan Kishan should be the first person they have to let go, right?
Yeah,
And they could get some other wicket keeper, right? There are, like, in India, there's no shortage of wicket keepers, so that won't be a problem. For me, uh, I'm thinking maybe Nihal Vadera, Akash Madwal, these players can also be retained, right? Somehow Akash Madwal, he was not utilized properly, right? This season, it could be the captaincy issue or whatever it is, but Akash Madwal did perform well when things were uh, when the when they were short on resources, right? So you could take that gamble with Akash Madwal, right?
but if it is a very strictly three-player retention rule like in the past,
Hmm.
like three Indian players and one overseas player, I think they
Right.
easily go with Hardik Pandya because he's captain,
Yeah.
and Tilak is a huge prospect. Any day I would take him in my team, and Jasprit Bumrah, how you will be leading.
Yeah.
So these three
True.
are my top tier players. So if the retention list like getting some 6 to 7 Indian players or at least 5 to 6 Indian players, then you can easily include Akash Madhur
Right.
because I still see that he's a very a proper death bowler, and
Right.
he can if he paired up with Jasprit Bumrah in a right manner, I think he can do wonders. That's what I could see in Akash Madhur.
True. True.
Yeah,
And
it's all depends
also,
upon how the IPL governing council is going to make that call. Uh,
fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
let's see.
And also, one thing you have to agree with MI is their scouting is on some other level. Like the players which these guys are getting, like Namandir, although he didn't perform initially uh, because of what you call bowling friendly conditions, right? But still, he has done reasonably well, Namandir. And then in the later stages, they got Anshul Kamboj, right? So somehow MI scouting is really doing a good job. So I don't
Yes.
think that's going to be a problem with getting new talent, right? So
Yeah, I think getting talents is one part, but how you are going to utilize them is the I think that's where the secret lies behind. That's where I
true.
think MI was very successful.
Hmm.
Yeah, this time we completely messed up with everything. So
Right.
yeah, hopefully let's see how this mega auction goes by, and yeah, we'll see that.
And four players in the MI squad are going to play the World Cup. Rohit Sharma, Hardik Pandya,
Surya
Surya
and
Kumar
Bumrah.
Yadav, and Jasprit Bumrah. Out of these four, only Jasprit Bumrah is in the top-notch form, right?
See, I never ever doubt Rohit Sharma's form because I think he plays very poorly in IPL. In
Hmm.
almost every season, he does that. But when
Right.
when he just get rid of the MI jersey and coming in with Indian jersey, I think he's a different player altogether.
Right.
I never ever doubt Rohit Sharma because he can give you that impactful innings up front that
Right.
really ease the pressure off from the other players. So I really I'm really uh, what do you say concerned with one guy's form. I think it would be Surya Kumar Yadav because uh, everybody is hoping that Surya is. Everybody knows that he's a fantastic player, but still, he's been very hot and cold in this year. Like he's
Mhm.
performing in one game and he's being silent for next two games and again one game.
Right.
So his form is very on and off. I think if he's not going to be that, what do you say? If he's not going to play that Travis kind of innings or somehow Nicholas Puran is not going to how Nicholas Puran is performing for West Indies. So I think if Surya Kumar Yadav goes very hot and cold, I think that's where the problem for India will arise because he is going to be very
True.
crucial. So if he is not going to be, if he is not going to be in his 100%, then it's going to be a very huge issue for India in the World
Exactly, and also the way the teams have figured out, like IPL teams have figured out Shivam Dube's weakness. Like if Surya Kumar Yadav doesn't do well, the entire pressure is gonna come on Shivam Dube, and the way teams have figured his weaknesses and come up with the plans, he's not doing well, right? So that's where
Cup.
I'm also worried, right?
If you see, if you see in this 15-member squad, I think except Jasprit Bumrah and Virat Kohli, nobody is in that form. Like
Right.
we could clearly say that they are not the players that we are looking for to bring the cup back.
Hmm.
So, except Virat Kohli and Justin Bieber, they are eternally in form. So, apart from those couple of guys, I think no one is in that red hot form this time. But
Right.
I could clearly see that, like, even when Shubham Dubey was performing really well, he does that everything in the batting friendly conditions. And
Right.
he just batted every domestic bowlers. But I think he is not that much comfortable when the ball was not in his arc because of his lack of foot movement. It's bound to happen. Mm,
Right.
and I think once he got his name in the squad, I think his purpose was served, and he's just been enjoying it. He's like in the vacation mode. I think
True.
that costed really CSK because
Yeah, exactly. Like yesterday, see when we say that, right? Like Virat Kohli strike rate is not good. Place does a Virat Kohli doesn't deserve a place in the T20 format. Like see that game, like after that rain break, from over 3 to over 10, it was looking like a freaking rank turner wicket, right?
I
Right.
think if not for Virat Kohli, I think RCB would have suffered way more because
Majorly,
Santner
like in
was
the
turning it like something.
Santner and Tikshana, they could have easily taken 4 wickets in the power play, and game would have been done and dusted there itself, right?
Yes.
So somehow there is a place for like a classical technical batters, right? And that's what you see with Shivam Dube. Initially, when the ball was coming onto the bat, ball was not doing much movement, or uh, pitch was not misbehaving, and all those things. Shivam Dube was having a good time, but in the later end of the tournament, when the pitches are getting
They're
used and the
tired.
ball get, and he's not doing well because the you need to have that proper technique, right? You can't expect the ball to go for a six by losing a shape. Yeah, of course there are some exceptions like Rishabh Pant, but that's a different story, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's absolutely true. That's what we are saying. Like even
Mhm.
when everyone was starting to praise that Shivam Dubey is the one that is going to bring the World Cup for us, and even the best all rounders that India could ever see, Yuvraj Singh was praising him like anything, and everyone is like Shivam Dubey is the guy. Shivam Dubey is the guy. He's going to be the best finisher. But I clearly don't see that they are not saying this World Cup is going to happen in West Indies and USA, which is not a like you say, it's not very batting friendly conditions, and the there could be some uneven bounce. And that
Right.
we could say that almost for 75% of the game that will be two paced wickets that we are going to get. And when even in the SRH match, the first game against the CSK, the SRH bowlers were clearly on the plan, like they are not going to give any balls in this hour, and that's
Hmm.
clearly kept Shivam Dubey out of the game. So
Hmm.
it's just a matter of time that if a team nails that uh, technique against him, and it's going to be cakewalk for the opponents. Like he don't have any, like everybody knows that he's not going to come down the track. He's
Hmm.
not
Hmm.
going to shuffle back or anything. He's just going to stand on his middle stump guard and just throw his bat away because of his bigger reach. I
Right.
think he relies too much on his power, and that really won't help. And also the ground sizes will not be um, like India. So I think that's where Shivam Dubey could get caught. But
Right.
let's see, uh, like how Australians underplayed themselves right before the World Cup, and they unleashed themselves in the World Cup. So let's see,
Hmm.
we also see that India is disguising, they don't know how to play this cricket. And when World Cup comes, I
Right.
think they
Right.
will
Yeah.
unleash.
I
Yeah.
mean, see, one thing I'm worried too much about Shivam Dubey is this was the same pattern which happened in 2019. Vijay Shankar had a few good series, like one two good series, and suddenly everyone forgot about Ambati Raidu, who has been performing tournament after tournament. And same thing happened with Rinku Singh. Rinku Singh, who was performing every tournament after that previous T20 World Cup, and suddenly he had one bad IPL, and suddenly everyone is backing Shivam Dube, right? And now if
Yeah, it's just
Surya
a recency bias.
recency bias, right? If and even in the last world in 2019, the entire pressure was on the top three. Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli used to play cautiously because they didn't want to expose the middle order and lower middle order eventually, right? And now, if the same thing happens, that is the concern. Given Surya not in form, and mostly Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma opens, they will have to play entire 20 overs.
Yeah, that's good, and it's very unlucky for Ignition, because I don't even say that he had a bad IPL. I would say
Hmm.
the KKR had a very good run in this IPL, because their
Right,
Sunil Narine, what an opener he is. He
right, right.
clearly
Yeah,
killed the game. So I think Rinku didn't get much opportunity this time.
true, true.
But
Yeah,
still, you can't really take one tournament and see that he is not good enough, or he's the best guy that we have seen in a few years. Like,
right.
we can't come to a conclusion like that. It's very hard on
Hmm.
Rinku Singh, because it's clearly injustice to him, because he has been in the top-notch form for 2 years, and he has shown even in a game against Afghanistan. Like Rohit Sharma was being in the pack. He was got onto two ducks before that, and the entire top order was gone very cheaply. Then Rohit Sharma and Rinku Singh um, played a tremendous knock in the Chinnaswamy, and still that game went to two super
Two
overs.
super.
So
Yeah,
I think,
yeah.
see, this guy is not only a finisher; he can take the game deep, and then he can unleash himself. So
I
it's a
mean, the
huge
guys.
miss.
Yeah, the guy's got a proper technique to to fall upon when there are early wickets and he is coming there. He has a good technique to fall back on, and the guy. And if that's the case, that guy has an average of 50 55 in first class, right? So he knows how to take the game deep, right?
Yeah.
So
So it's completely recency bias, nothing much. It's
right, right, yeah.
completely that, because this IPL has more visibility than the other domestic tournaments. Uh, that's what happens, because even I could see some posts like, how can you leave this Tushar Deshpande before going to World Cup? I could see very minimum number of posts for him, but still I could see these posts popping up
Hmm.
here and there, because Tushar Deshpande has a very good run rather than Siraj. And see, I am clearly against this guy's Arshdeep Singh selection. He's
Right.
not even deserved in the place. Natarajan, again, another huge miss, I could see,
Hmm.
since his
Right.
returns were very good, and he has been performing really well whenever he gets a chance. But still, the
Right.
team management is going with Arshdeep Singh. Yeah, the entire squad is like, we have taken these guys. If they plays well,
Hmm.
India sleeps well. If not, we are going
Right.
to have nightmares. That's all.
True, true. But that's the thing, right? This World Cup, uh, people don't have much hopes. Like before 23 World Cup, like people were like, this is our World Cup year. This seems to be a very good team, and everything is going according to the plan. But
Yes.
this year, it's not giving that sort of a hope. Like whatever maybe the squad, or there are a lot of weak links that's going to happen. But that's how it is, right? Like uh, when the expectations are really low, India kind of wins the World Cup.
See, whatever it is, just bring the cup back. That's all. You do whatever you want.
Right,
You
right.
play even you score 200 or even you score 160. Just bring the cup
Mhm.
back. That's all. See, uh, that's the only thing that every cricket fanatics will have in their mind right now.
Right, yeah.
And this year's IPL was clearly some uh, what do you say? It's a magical turnaround.
Right,
Uh,
yeah.
so yeah, it's going to be something like this, and then this depleted Indian side will also bring the comeback. Like if the script
Yeah.
goes like this, then it's a huge advantage for us. Let's see,
Yeah,
because
like all
seeing England
RCB,
squad,
yeah, all RCB needed was a taunt from Sunil Gavaskar about Kohli's strike rate. So we never know.
yeah, and seeing this England squad and West Indies squad, I would say they are very strong on paper.
Right, yeah.
Let's see
Hmm.
that if this teams add some magic and
Hmm.
hopefully, but it's another low expectation on the side because
True.
everybody knows that this team is not up to the mark,
Right.
and we clearly missing that X factor in the team, and
Hmm.
the X factor they hoped on was not doing well, and ever since they have picked him in this squad, and yeah, we could be ready. Like in one Mr. Nags video, he will say, we will keep our expectations low. If we win, we will celebrate. If not, we know we know what to do. Let's
Right.
be like Mr. Nags. That's all.
True, true. And talking about playoffs, those the four teams, like uh, because of the rain in this particular game, I think mostly it would be KKR and SRH in the top two.
Qualifier.
Yeah, and RR, the way they started, like it's the story of every year, right? They have a good start, in the end they mess really bad. It's just that they won 8 games in the first 10 matches, which kind of assured their playoffs position. But now they have got into that eliminator. They could have been easily in top two. Now they have got into the eliminator with RCB, right? So
Yeah, it's going to be a royal eliminator.
Royal eliminator. And the way RCB is playing, and the way Virat Kohli is literally, he is showing the aggressiveness to the other level. Like after Sunil Gavaskar, what he said.
Yeah, I have never seen such raging Kohli against CSK.
I mean, that's the thing.
It
Like
was something yesterday.
in T20s, uh, like he brought in slog sweeps, right? And I'm like, okay, you brought in a new shot. Wow.
No, see, the way he played yesterday, it was very surprising, right?
Right? Yeah.
He always speaks so high about Dhoni, and he always
Hmm.
loves him. He is the first guy in MS Dhoni's fans club. Everything. He is someone who
Right.
looked up to MS like an idol. But the way
Hmm.
he played yesterday, it was like a statement winning, I would say,
Right. Yeah.
because this guy was literally everywhere yesterday. I think the game
True.
literally started from him and it was
Hmm.
ended from him. So that's like the
Exactly. Yeah.
influence from him yesterday. It was completely visible. See, on paper or even the way the game started, the odds were completely against RCB yesterday
Right.
because
And
they lost the toss with rain around the corner, losing the toss. You're going to bat first. You don't know what's going to happen, and suddenly, when things are going very well, 30 for no loss in 3 overs, and suddenly the rain gods wanted to interrupt, and the pitch started to turn enormously that we don't see often in Chinnaswamy, and
yeah,
suddenly
like
everything changed.
yesterday when Mitchell Santner was turning the ball, it was like some sort of a Shane Warne has come into his body and he's just bowling it like that. Shane Warne and Muralidharan were bowling on that wicket and it was turning square, right?
Yes.
And I thought,
And
what if it wasn't for Faf and Kohli, the power play would have been like 60 for 4 and the game would have been done and dusted.
I really doubt that 60 runs, but I would really see that 4 for sure. Because
Yeah.
this is the same RCB side played very poorly against KKR in Kolkata. Like
Hmm.
they had 1 over to survive from Narain, but Green had
Right.
some other ideas and messed up the chase completely.
Right,
If,
right, yeah.
if that chase could have gone other way, it could have been easy qualification for RCB altogether.
Exactly, yeah.
And also when Virat Kohli started to slog sweep for Jadeja against Jadeja, I think that's where the game turned on its head. And suddenly,
Mm.
then again Virat Kohli lost his wicket, and then Faf took up the role, and he started to
Right.
slog everything, and very unlucky dismissal for Faf.
Faf, yeah.
And that the moment I really thought that okay, this is the story of RCB. This is what they always do. Uh, but still, I think CSK was not in the mood to take the advantage. Like
Right.
they just let this game slip away at that moment. I think that
I
is
mean,
the moment they could have
for
done something else.
the um, major surprise was when you have a when you don't have depth in the fast bowling like Patirana Fizz, because of their absence, fast bowling doesn't have that threat, right? And when you see the spinners are having a good time on that particular wicket, you didn't bowl Ravindra at all. Rachin Ravindra, you didn't utilize him at all.
And you didn't finish Jadeja at all. He still has this 1 over left.
1 over left, yeah. I think maybe 3 overs 40, kind of. You could say, okay, fine. I understand the thought process, right?
But still, see,
Hmm.
Virat was gone. Taf is also
Yeah.
gone. So the best
Uh-huh.
players against spin were back in the hut. Then it's
Patidar was
your
there,
Patidar was just logging. It was
right?
just blind slogging from Patidar.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hmm.
like we didn't see that Patidar, what we used to see in the past few games. Like
Right.
he played some proper cricketing shots and get those runs. But yesterday it was a different story because of the wicket.
Right.
Because the
Yeah.
wicket has literally had lot to do.
Yeah.
And I think Shardul Thakur's selection was completely. I think uh, did that guy really deserve a place in the playing 11? That's what I would really wanted to ask because the way he was bowling, like too many full tosses on that wicket. Because
Mm.
there is something for the slower deliveries, like
Right.
how Yashayal used it and Cam Green. I think Cam Green was another standout guy. Like he literally held the game in one end.
And same goes with
Sudhir
Lockie
was quite
Ferguson.
amazing.
Lockie Ferguson, those knuckle balls, those cutters. I mean, of course, because of those highway snow balls, barring those things, he did really well, Lockie Ferguson.
Yeah,
Right?
but without these things, I think Yashayal and Cam Green was superb. I think yesterday.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He literally took the job like, okay, I'm going to be that one guy you are going to rely on.
Right,
And even Maxwell, I suddenly Maxwell came on and getting those 16 of 5 and picking up
right,
Gaikwad, the informed Gaikwad on the very first delivery. Everything seems to
right.
be like a fairy tale in to the journey
Mm-hmm.
that RCB is going on now.
True, yeah. And that's the thing. And also in the batting, like CSK batting, it felt like, these guys are cruising. Like after the way, I think till Rachin Ravindra and Rahane, yeah, till those two guys were playing, it looked like, okay, uh, these guys are playing according to the run rate, like not to win, to qualify according to that run rate. They are ensuring that the required run rate is somewhere around 10.5. And suddenly Rahane gets out and Shivam Dube comes in. And
Yeah,
what do you think about Ravindra's run out? Do you think Shivam Dube should have been like, okay, fine, let it, he should have sacrificed a wicket? Or do you think uh, it was the situation, it happened the way it was, that's it?
if you ask me, I think the mistake will be on Ravindra's side because he was ball watching. He was
Hmm.
not responding to the call actually.
Right.
But given the moment, I could. I could see that maybe Shivam Dube could have sacrificed his wicket, but this guy
Right.
has huge runs on his back. Like he's
Hmm.
known for his six hitting ability, so he
Right.
could have fancied his chances again in Chinnaswamy because the misses could go um,
Right.
could get in those sixes. But I think Ravindra was on strong yesterday. He was one standout batter from CSK, and he was like he was not at all looking troubled by any of the RCB
Right.
bowlers. Like the other batters were really struggling against RCB bowlers on that particular pitch, but Ravindra was on song yesterday. It was
True. True.
great to watch.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And yesterday I was watching few podcasts after the game, and everyone was saying that MS Dhoni should have been coming up, like he should have come before Mitchell Santner. And that's where I was like, see, MS Dhoni, he's not at the peak of the fitness, like the way he was keeping yesterday. Like if you see 5 years before MS, like there was some shots which were outside edge and it was going away from him, he would have dived
What
if
is
it
this?
was five
What is
years
this
5 years back.
actually?
Yeah, but Dhoni, he doesn't like after every game he's putting on that hot pack on his knee, so he's having a trouble with his knee, and at the
Everything
same
is
time
fine
he's not.
actually. See,
Hmm,
yeah, since you have bring on this MS topic, really do you see that he is sacrificing himself or what is it? It's completely rubbish. No, the only
right, yeah,
thing that the franchise is making is making him to play is to
right.
bring in the money. That's it. If
I mean, see, if I have to be devil's advocate, I could be like, you know what? This is Ruturaj's first season. So maybe throwing him in the deep end in the first season won't be a wise idea. So maybe at least in the Dhoni's presence, he could learn for 1 year. That could have also been a one idea, right?
see,
And of
they
course,
could have
like you
done
said,
that in the
the marketing thing, right?
that you could have done that in last year also. Even you have you have roped in Jadeja as your
Hmm.
first player in the retention list, and you gave him the captaincy. And somewhat going in midway of the tournament, you just sacked them, and again MS was back in the skipper
Right.
role. So see, these things are really maybe it may be controversial, but see, what CSK fans or the management is saying that we don't have the wicket keeper in wicket keeper. They don't have the backup wicket keeper actually. Since
Devon
Conway was
Conway,
injured,
Conway's
Conway
absent.
was
Yeah.
injured, so there is no proper backup wicket keeper. So that's why MS is playing. But
Hmm.
I really see that it's a very rash idea to do because whenever
Right.
see it's not like that you don't have any wicket keepers in the market or any wicket keepers in the domestic level or in the international level that you can get on like a
Right. Yeah.
franchise like CSK. They are not capable. It's not like they're not capable enough to bring in a wicket keeper. It's
True.
all
Yeah.
about it's all down to that marketing level and also since they just want to milk the franchisee and the fans actually.
True. Like, see, even Delhi, like, they were not aware whether Rishabh Pant would be able to come back to IPL and play as a wicket keeper. Would he be able to keep the wickets? And they spent 7 crores on Kumar Kushagra just because he can do the wicket keeping, and we need a backup wicket keeper. And this is something CSK could have done, right?
Even they bought Tristan Stubbs only for that actually.
Now, 1 second, Tristan Stubbs is not a keeper, right?
He is a wicket keeper. He is
Okay,
keeping
okay,
wickets actually.
okay,
He is
okay,
keeping wickets for Pretoria Capitals in the South African
okay.
Premier League. So
Got it,
that
got it.
I
Yeah.
think that's the idea behind bringing in Stubbs also. And
Hmm.
here in CSK, see if MS is going to retire now, who is the
Hmm.
next wicket keeper or who is the next keeper actually? In the past years, they pinned Suresh Raina as a successor, but
Right,
Suresh Raina got retired earlier than MS. And
right.
again,
Yeah.
they spotted Ravindra Jadeja as one potential what do you say successor for MS. Again, Jadeja was sacked in the midway of the tournament. They could have easily said, okay, we can let go of this year. It's okay. Anyway, they didn't finish very well in that year
Hmm.
also. They finished
Right.
at ninth or eighth, I think. So
Hmm.
it's really it's clear that it's not like right from the first year you can get the trophy. So
Huh.
it's like a waiting game, or if you are getting the trophy, then it's super good. But if
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
not getting the trophy, then just play that waiting game. Like you're saying, right? keeping Rutu in MS shadows. That's the best possible way, and you could have
Hmm.
done that with Jadeja also, but
Right.
somehow they didn't do that, and it's
Hmm.
just some lame reasons that they are bringing up. And also,
Right.
see, I am really surprised that he didn't send Thakur ahead of him.
True.
Like
Yeah.
Thakur played some swashbuckling innings. Who could know? Again, he could have done some 20-30 runs in 10 balls. Like MS is
Right.
also not that kind of form actually. Like when the ball is not coming onto the bat, or it is not down leg side, or it's not a full toss, then he is also waiting. And also
I
he
mean,
came at the
see,
16th over.
one more thing is MS Dhoni, like when boundaries are not coming, he can't be like dabbing and go for the quick singles also because his knee is not cooperating, right? So, uh,
Also, he knows for his quick running between the wickets. He can
yeah,
easily run twos in the place of singles, and he can
exactly. Like,
even run
yeah,
3 runs also in a very
right,
good snap of time. It is also not happening. Actually, it is just
right,
being an hindrance to the team.
right, right. Yeah.
Completely like if CSK could have won this game, again they
Hmm.
would say that okay. And also, I could see in many of the other podcasts or any other YouTube videos, like they do match reviews. Now they are saying that it's a very poor captaincy from Ruturaj, like not
Right,
completing Jadeja's over, or not bringing out Rachin Ravindra. When CSK is winning, the entire focus is on MS only. They are not
right,
even
right.
bringing up this guy's names also. Rutu's name was nowhere seen. Uh,
Right,
I
yeah,
could see in the game against MI, it was a proper captaincy brilliance from Ruturaj.
yeah,
Like MI was cruising at one point of time, but all
right,
of a sudden there was some hiccups in the chase, and MI eventually lost the game. But at that time there was no mentioning of Ruturaj actually.
hmm,
It's all about MS because it's the last game at Wankhede. It's a very good farewell for him at Wankhede. Like he won the World Cup there, so it's a very fitting farewell for him. But all of a sudden, with yesterday's game, everybody is saying that this poor captaincy, a
right,
bad
yeah,
decisions, everything. So I clearly see there is some partiality. Then if it is Virat
right,
Kohli,
yeah.
it's a different story altogether. It's like Virat Kohli versus others actually. Even Virat is not a
True, true,
captain.
true. Yeah. I mean, see when you see see these visuals, right? After every game, the way Dhoni Dhoni is treating his knee and all those things, we are like, okay, give that man a break. Like it's fine. Like he is 42, 43. He will be 43 this year, right? So it's fine. Like uh, don't put too much pressure on him just because he will come for 3 balls and uh, you can milk some more from the legacy point of view, right? So that's not gonna
It's,
happen.
it's not even legacy. These guys are enjoying when Ruturaj is getting out on 98, when
Yeah,
Daryl Mitchell playing a blinder of an innings, and everyone is start what do you say? Everyone is going berserk for just Dhoni's entry.
right.
It's
Yeah,
completely what do you say? It's shameful to see because it's like being the focal point of only one man, and everybody else was just being glad to everybody. That's
right,
really
right. Yeah,
painful, and it's disrespectful for the players also.
exactly. And this entire thing boils down to an idea that you know what, like everyone is fearing that if uh, if these big shot players like from RCB, if Kohli is out, from CSK if Dhoni is out, from MI Rohit Sharma retires all of a sudden, then there won't be any followers. That's not true. Like at the end of the day, everyone
It's
wants to
not
watch
going to
cricket.
happen.
Everyone
Yeah.
wants to watch cricket, and no one is going to stop that. And uh, like even if you put all 11 players who you don't even know, like get 11 players from a domestic format and play that, people will still watch the game, right? So
See,
that idea is something not going to happen. Like the fear which you are thinking and all those things, that's not going to happen.
yeah, it's just a marketing fear actually. See, I
Yeah.
am a very big fan of Sachin Tendulkar.
Hmm.
When he announced his retirement, like in 2013 November, that's going to be a final test match, and I will be retiring from cricket, cricket completely. So that day when I'm seeing Sachin going off the field and giving his farewell speech, I'm clearly vowed myself to not watch cricket again. It's a decade back actually, but
Right, yeah.
it's not the case actually. Right after
Hmm.
Sachin's exit, I'm still watching cricket. I'm still being that ardent fan, and yeah, it's just a marketing gimmick that these big shots going away, and the game will lose its popularity. Still, we are getting the players. Still, there is
Right,
some
right.
the future superstars like Jaiswal, Shubman Gill, even in the form of
Hmm.
Rinku Singh. We have so many
Right,
people, and I think in this generation only this bowling superstars also coming back again in the form of
right.
Jasprit Bumrah. Natarajan
True,
is there
true.
in one space, and
Hmm.
so everyone is. It's not like that. This game will live eternally, but it's just some marketing gimmick. Maybe it took some time to get some
Right.
huge following and crazy fans, but still the game will live, and yeah,
Hmm.
eventually it will be there.
Right, yeah. And also, like, when you see all these things, like uh, new players who have come up, like players like the way Travis Head and Abhishek Sharma, they entirely changed the IPL this year. And in Delhi, the way Fraser McGurk played, now now every team will be thinking, you know what, we need to get the players so that they will give explosive starts, where we are looking at every game, the 6 overs, at the minimum we have to score like 60-65, right? And that should be the bare minimum. So do you think players like Prithvi Shaw, all these guys, they will struggle to find a place in a IPL team?
I still see some what do you say, LSG struggling to get the better starts this year. Still, they
Hmm.
had Quinton de Kock and KL Rahul at the top, but still
Right,
they were not able to get the starts that they were hoping for. And
right,
even for that matter, you could see some struggling in Punjab Kings as well. So
right,
yeah, every team is looking for those 60-65 runs in the power play for some years now. It's
right,
not
yeah.
just this year, but this year was very it was very blatant that 250 is not chaseable. Every
Right,
team
right,
has that hope now that even if you score 250, we can score 251 in the second half.
right.
So the hopes are high now. So
Hmm.
yeah, the game is completely moving towards in the batter's point of view. So the
Right.
explosive batters will come eventually, and there will be place. If not, at least in the Delhi Capitals for Patricia. But still, you need a
True.
guy like Williamson, or even for the matter Virat Kohli,
Right.
uh, even a player like someone who can anchor the innings. I could see even Manish Pandey.
Right.
You need someone to anchor the innings between these explosives.
True. True. And somehow that should be a wake up call for Prithvi Shaw. Like now people like see Prithvi Shaw was 2018 batch, like under 19 World Cup. That's when he played. So in that year, Shubman Gill is captaining the side, right? And when the under 19 World Cup was done, we thought, Prithvi Shaw could be the next India's captain. Like at some stage, he would be captaining India. And the way he has turned up, it was really, really baffling. And at the same time, now, after the next year in 2020, Jaiswal's, Dhruv Jurel, Riyan Parag, and all these guys are performing. So uh, somehow, I don't know, like Prithvi Shaw, he needs to take his fitness seriously. Like now, people are not even, because of impact player rule, they don't want him to field, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a very curious case of Prithvi Shaw actually.
Right,
This
yeah.
guy lost his shape, and I think that one Australian series completely played on his confidence. Um,
Right.
until then, I think Prithvi Shaw was a mainstay in the Indian side in all the three formats. Like he was knocking on doors in all three formats, but suddenly when
Mm.
he goes to Australia and Stark and Cummins played literally basketball in his life, and that's where I think that guy
Right.
lost his what do you say? It lost everything actually, and yeah, it's high time that he needs to work on his game first, then the fitness. I would say, like he
See,
still
like
have those.
it's not like ki Prithvi Shaw is the only player who had a bad series in Australia or over in the Sena countries. Look at Virat Kohli. The After that horrible England tour, he worked on himself and he worked everything out in the technique and everything. That's why you. That's why Virat Kohli is Virat Kohli at this point in time, right?
Yeah,
And
he worked, but Prithvi didn't. That's the only
yeah,
thing
that's the only
I
thing, right?
really want
Yeah,
to make. Yeah,
right. Yeah.
like see, Virat Kohli had a horrible 2014 season in England, but the
Hmm.
next tour he is going to England, he scored runs for fun. The
Right.
same bowler Anderson troubled him a lot in that past series, but
Hmm.
in that 2018 series he was nowhere to see in trouble Virat Kohli actually. It was the team that completely went against Virat Kohli actually because
Right.
2018 series is of completely Virat Kohli's tour actually.
I mean, Anderson didn't take Virat Kohli for the 10 innings, right?
Yes,
So that's how that's the difference Virat Kohli made, like from 2014 to 2018. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like uh, somehow Prithvi Shaw, the way he had a decline, it's really disheartening to see, right? Like you know,
yeah,
and these things tell a lot about talent management and all those things. Uh, like when he scores like all those mammoth runs in the Ranji trophies, right? Like scoring like 370, 380s, of course, against teams like Assam and all those things, uh, which doesn't have much of a bowling lineup and all. So, uh, are the teams talking to him and ensuring that this guy works on his weaknesses or not? That is uh, something we are unaware of, right?
yeah. See, the other hand, you have Jaiswal.
Hmm.
Like Jaiswal is another very proper batter who
Hmm.
first started in his IPL career really well.
Right.
Then the guy adapted to the test format is also very good. See,
Exactly. Yeah.
so the way he propelled himself was something brilliant. Even if you see Sai Sudarshan, I
Hmm.
would say he's not that much a kind of an explosive batter like Travis Head or even Abhishek Sharma. But still, this guy influence was huge in GT.
Right.
Without Sai Sudarshan, I think GT not even could have won some 3 to 4 games at
Right.
least. So see, that's where I think the players should understand that it's not all about hitting those boundaries. It's all about how you understand the game and how you are reacting to it. That's it.
True.
Even Shubman Gill, for that matter, he is not that kind of an explosive batter you could see. He is not
Hmm.
even Jaiswal, but still
Right.
Shubman Gill is Shubman Gill. On
Hmm.
his day, he is going to punish you very badly. That's how he plays.
Right.
So I think that's where the players like Prithvi Shah should take a leaf out of their books and work on them. That's it.
True. True. Yeah. And anything else? Like, what is your predictions for the playoffs? Like in Kolkata, Rajasthan. Sorry, Kolkata SRH. Who do you think would directly
Yeah,
go into final?
see, I really want this Cummins guy to be silenced at least in the IPL. He's silencing everywhere he goes. So I really want someone to silence him. And even if they play qualifier one, still they have some another chance in the qualifier too. So,
Yeah.
see, I really want that SRS should not be in the finals. I really want RCB because RCB is always like a second favorite to almost
Hmm.
most of the IPL fans.
Right.
Yeah, see, I think if this trophy goes to Virat Kohli, then there is not much beautiful sight than that.
True. True. Yeah.
Yeah, the heart says RCB actually, but
Hmm.
from the what do you say from the recent form or the team and the skill set on paper, I could see that SRS can be
SRH
that
could be
one
the
side.
one.
One
Right. Yeah.
could lift the trophy.
True. True. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So,
So,
uh,
what's your take?
exactly the same thing. Like, uh, it would be SRH could be the team who would be lifting the trophy, but you want RCB to win, like, of
Yes.
course, because of the Virat Kohli fandom and all those things.
Also, the way they played in this last 6 games, I think they are
Hmm.
deserved to be in the finals. Not
Right.
even for the champions actually, and still they got Rajasthan Royals in their eliminator game. So I
Hmm.
could see at least they will making it into qualifier two now. And
Right.
yeah, if they face KKR, I think that will be a very good matchup. KKR and
Right.
RCB in Chennai, that too. because the way RCB played the spin better in those turning conditions in Chinnaswamy, I could see that they
Right.
can tackle the spin really well when they play against KKR. And also, given the finals will be on Chennai, and if RCB and SRH are going to play, then I could see that that could be an even matchup to an extent.
True.
Then we can have a very good game in hands in the finals. If not, I
True.
think
True.
it's a cakewalk for SRH.
Right. Right. That's the thing, right? Like Ahmedabad and Chennai, it's not a proper batting paradises like Hyderabad, Delhi, or Bangalore for that matter. So RCB can have a sigh of relief that finals is not in one of these three places. So
Also, this, and also one thing I really wanted to say, this guy SJL's comeback, like what an year it is, like uh,
right, yeah,
giving five sixes in the final over, that too against Rinku Singh. That's what made Rinku Singh, and
right,
coming back and defending against MS and Jadeja, who
mm,
literally cooked this guy's team last year, 10 of 2, the final two
right,
deliveries. The same case was yesterday, but still this guy came on top, and that's a very good comeback, even for, better than RCB, I would say.
exactly. Like that's what happens, right? Like you can't write off just based on one bad over. Like see Stuart Broad, he
Yeah,
he gave six sixes, but now he's the best bowler who England has ever produced, right? After Anderson, like in Test, the pair which you talk about is Stuart Broad and James Anderson, right?
yeah, for sure. At least for our generation,
For
they
our
are the one.
generation, yeah. Hmm.
So yeah, it's clear. You
Yeah.
can't see, you can't judge based on one over, and that's what happened with SJL also.
Yes, they are also, yeah. Anyways, anything else to add?
No, nothing. We'll see how it goes in the qualifier one. Then we'll meet again.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. It would really help our channel to grow. And of course, based on your thoughts, we could always curate our channels accordingly. And thank you. Uh, See you after a qualifier game.